Hello. It's so good to see all of you. So good morning and happy Sunday. And as Reverend Stacy said, we are headed towards Father's Day, Male Identifying Parent Day. And this is an interesting time, as we all know. These are unprecedented times. And I think that many of us know that we are at a tipping point and we can decide how it goes from here. And I think one of the most important steps that our society is going to take from here is defining the modern warrior. These days, women are dominating the workforce. They're graduating at higher rates in legal, in medical fields. They are more and more the breadwinners, or at least making more than their partner or partners in their households. And the feminine divine is rising. It's rising. The matriarchy is rising. And Reverend Dr. Stacey and I have talked about this at length. Matriarchy, patriarchy, egalitarian. We'll get there too. It's a whole nother conversation. The modern warrior, there's three things that the modern warrior needs to know how to do. One is hold space, two is listen, and three is collaborate. These things historically can be very challenging for the divine masculine because it requires a breaking down of ego. And ego is very high in our society right now because there's a lot of fear. The more fear there is, the more your ego says, oh, we have to take care of things, we have to protect ourselves. Ego is not always our friend, however. And sometimes it is difficult to hold space. Let me just explain what holding space means real quick. Holding space just means that when you are with somebody who is experiencing something, going through something emotional, crying, talking, maybe working through something out loud, all we do to hold space is we sit and we actively listen. We give them our attention and we just listen. We just wait. Holding space is to sit with somebody in their discomfort and let them sit in that discomfort and guide them through that discomfort just by being there with love. It's remarkably difficult. And I want to hear in kinship when we talk then about how difficult it can be to sit with somebody who is going through something and not want to make them feel better. We always want to make them feel better. Here's the thing about being human. We are all focusing too much on feeling better all the time instead of experiencing our emotions, instead of experiencing the humanity of going through what we're going through. How often do we push things away, push it down, compartmentalize, don't feel, I'll cry later, I'll deal with that later, because of our society and how fast things go. We must sit and feel our emotions, and we must hold space for our loved ones to feel those emotions. And in return, they will hold space for us. Active listening is also very difficult for similar reasons. You have things you want to say, you want to respond, you want to help, but active listening means you don't say anything until it's clear that a response is needed or wanted, or you're asked for a response. Just listening is so powerful. Active listening, eye contact, acknowledging something, even sounds, but making sure that somebody knows that you are hearing them, you are seeing them. That's part of holding space too. Collaboration. Right now, there's a lot of people in our society who want credit. And the reason they want credit is because their self-worth is suffering. We have an epidemic, a pandemic of low self-worth in our country and our globe. And when we feel that way about ourselves, we kind of overcompensate. I can do this, I can do all of this, I can do all the things. So when somebody says, hey, we can do this together, I can help you, you don't have to do it alone. We say, no, we can do it, I can do it by myself. We value hyper independence in this country, but community and support and collaboration, that's how things happen. Not by us all going, I'm going to do it myself and I want all the credit. It's amazing what you can achieve when nobody cares who gets the credit. When we eliminate ego, when we focus on the mindfulness of the present, when we hold space for people to experience being human, it allows us to be human, which is so important. So I challenge anybody who has had difficulties holding space or active listening to talk about it. Let's talk about it afterwards. There's ways. I have people who have notebooks because sometimes it's hard for us not to interrupt. We want to hold space, we want to listen, but we want to talk. So you take notes. It's okay to take notes when somebody else is talking because then they know you're engaged. So those three things, holding space, listening, collaboration, those are the hallmarks of the new warrior, the modern warrior, the new divine masculine. I love you all. Thank you for being here.